Hi, welcome to Jeremy's Tech Channel, and today we're going to be checking out Ubuntu Budgie 24.04 LTS. Hi, my name's Jeremy. This channel is about tech, go figure. And today, obviously, I'm in a new location. I'm still in Vietnam. Here in a couple weeks, I'll be moving to Thailand for a couple months. If you're interested in seeing why I'm traveling the world, just go to Harper Family Travels on YouTube or on social and check it out. Today we're checking out Ubuntu 24.04 LTS and the Budgie desktop environment. There's a couple of reasons for this. One, I did an Ubuntu 24.04 LTS walkthrough and I had some issues with the install on my virtual machine. I wanted to see if that was just me or if there's something going on with Ubuntu. So I figured we'd walk through the installation process and see how things go. Two, I haven't seen Budgie in a while, and so I want to check out Budgie. It's a very interesting desktop environment from my perspective. It's supposed to be very simple and clean and just kind of handing it to you if you really don't want to do much tweaking and messing around, but you want a nice clean look. So we're going to take a look at this, get a sense of it, install it. I installed it on a virtual machine today with 16 gigabytes of RAM and 12 cores. That's my standard on my installs. And I want to walk through and see a couple of things because you may have never heard of the Budgie desktop environment, but this is an official Ubuntu flavor, which means Fedora used to have these spins. It's like Ubuntu, but with KDE desktop or with Cinnamon desktop, or in this instance, the Budgie desktop environment is going to give you the Ubuntu base and tools with an environment, a desktop environment and UI that you may appreciate more. Spoiler alert, I think it looks really cool and looks very functional. It's piquing my interest. So let me go over to their website here, Ubuntu Budgie, and this is great. If you're going to install anything onto a system, even if it's a virtual machine, it's good to get some sense of what they're about, read some documentation. You don't have to spend a whole bunch of time as a virtual machine, for goodness sakes, but you want to make sure that you get an understanding of why they're doing what they're doing, right? It says it's friendly for newcomers, it's easy to update and maintain, powerful. This is the Ubuntu Budgie page. And so you can just kind of see they're really trying, look, they even bring up coming from Mac. So maybe they're trying to sway Mac users, or maybe a person has an older Mac that they don't want to get rid of and they still want to be able to use it. So maybe they would install the Budgie desktop environment with Ubuntu. And they use a lot of, I guess they're calling them applets. You've got some switching of languages if you're a bilingual or a multilingual person, being able to switch workspaces, some things that you're probably already used to, but maybe you just don't want that up front. And that's why they have these installed as an applet. Make it your own. Just kind of like hey, you can really make it look cool on your own. And then some sponsors there. I went to the Budgie wiki page and I did want to share a quick thing about it because Budgie, the desktop environment, was a part of Solus Linux. And Solus was around for a long time. It still may be around. The people who were developing the Budgie desktop environment created something called the Buddies of Budgie. Buddies of Budgie was founded to provide a home for the Budgie desktop, an open source modern desktop environment built to provide you an immediate access to the things you need. So very simple, upfront kind of thing. And we're going to see if that's true. Their values for their organization here, you can read that. You can go to buddiesofbudgie.org if that's what you want to see. So here it is. When you download the ISO, you put it on your virtual machine or on a USB drive. This is what you are greeted with. Hey, Budgie, welcome. So let's go ahead and go through this install process. And I like to do that to ensure that you can see what it's like if you've never installed Linux before or another operating system on your computer. It gives you a sense of what to expect, what questions, and how to answer them if you're unsure. So I'm going to click install now, and then we will go through the desktop environment and check it out and see how Ubuntu is integrated with this. Once again, I'm hoping that the install process is going to work much smoother than the last time I tried to install this operating system from just a couple weeks ago. We will choose our language. Our keyboard layout, English US, is fine. It is saying I'm using a wired connection because this is a virtual machine and it sees it as a wired connection. But if you needed to connect to your wireless network, this is where you would do it. An interactive installation or an automated installation. And if you're new to this, I would suggest interactive, even though it may slow you down and you may be unsure, but it's going to be good for you to see what's happening and maybe understand what's about to happen on your machine. So you can get a minimal install or the full featured desktop. Let's go with the full featured just to get the full experience. You can install third-party software for graphics and Wi-Fi hardware, and you can install support for additional media formats. So we can click those. If I were in your shoes, that's what I would do if I was unsure. It is very important to you that open source and you don't want proprietary drivers or software. Don't check those, okay? Erase disk and install Ubuntu Budgie, or you could do a manual installation, which means you could set up your partitions of your drive and be able to install it alongside another operating system, like if you have Windows or Mac or something along those lines, or maybe another Linux distribution, or you're very particular on how you want your drive set up. If you're not, just erase disk and install Ubuntu Budgie. We'll create our account. I don't want to call my computer standard PC Q35 ICH9 2009. I want to call it Ubuntu Budgie. And then you will create a password. Then your location. I am in this location. I'm in Vietnam, but my home base is in America. So we're going to choose that and review your choices. Go ahead and take an opportunity to look at this before you hit install. And if you feel comfortable, click install. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and speed this up so that you can see what it looks like. By the way, you can click this little terminal icon down here, and this lets you see what's happening in real time in with text showing you what's happening. If you don't care, set it like this. I'll speed this up and I'll see you when this is finished. Okay, and we're installed. And that was a much quicker install than what I was dealing with when I installed Ubuntu 24.04 LTS with the regular desktop environment. So let me restart and then we will take a look at the Ubuntu Budgie and see if it's for us. All right, so here is what we are greeted when we log in to our new install with Ubuntu Budgie 24.04 LTS. And they have this welcome screen, and I'm going to go ahead and maximize it. And it looks like they've decided to give you opportunities to set up the desktop to look the way you might feel very comfortable with. And I really love that. So there's some that are already installed, like this Arc design, which I believe is what we are using. And then they have a couple of other choices. So we could click this, and that lets you know what it looks like. I guess they're really trying to ensure you realize that that is a Mac look. And let me switch to another one just to make sure I understand what's happening here. Okay, so they changed the backdrop, they changed the transparency, but nothing is really moving yet. Let me go to this one right here. Transparency, I should probably check the menus. Would you like to install them now? Yes, I would love to. This is fascinating to me that there is a focused, install missing theme failed. Well, what if we install them locally. Let's say I want the Mojave, and I'm going to install the Mojave one. Let's see how that works. But I really like the idea of making some of those adjustments just kind of contained as a look, and you probably here will be able to find out if you can make some of these tweaks with transparency icons and those kinds of things. And they've just chosen to go ahead and create a full look that will look nice together, and then you just choose one. That's pretty cool. Oh, completed installation of Mojave theme. Oh, thanks. Nice little notification there. Apply makeover. So now it is unapologetically very Mac. And someone coming from Mac may appreciate this kind of look. I actually like the app dock. I like the roundedness. I don't like that they brought the face back in for your Finder. That was in Mac OS 9 kind of deal that they had back in the day. You can then change your desktop layout. So they have Ubuntu Budgie. That's the one that we are. We have classic Ubuntu Budgie, which it looks like the launcher, like over here, is going to be different. Traditional Budgie, 11. So they're thinking this is like Windows 11. So traditional Windows, Chrome, like Chrome OS, traditional Budgie, Cupertino, the one. So I'm guessing this would be like, let's see here. This is going to look like Ubuntu. Yeah. So kind of more like the Unity desktop setup, if that's something that you are interested in. I am a little curious about this. Third-party repositories. Are you okay with third-party repositories for this demo? Of course I am. I'm totally fine with third-party repositories. But it's a nice thing for them to say, guys, we haven't even got out of this welcome screen, and we've got all kinds of things to explore. And we're going to apply this Chrome layout and see what happens here. I'm going to do this and just see what the deal is. I'm guessing it's just a full screen. Yeah, it's just a full screen setup here. That's pretty great. Okay, so if you want, let's see here, classic Ubuntu Budgie. It looks like this launcher. The launcher is more of a list style if you want that. This is really nice. I like it. Even if you want to look a little bit more like Windows 11, the panel goes from the top to the bottom. Now, I'm sure there's a way to do all of this and tweak it in the settings, but if you're not into that, you just want to find the look that you're looking for and then move on with your day, like choose it one time, this would be really great. So here you are with your Windows 11 look, if that matters to you. And then I'm guessing, as far as your layout go, your desktop layout go, Cupertino, I'm guessing, is going to be a Mac style layout. And that is nice. I am going to go with their original, what they have set up and designed just for this demo. So this is great if you really want to adjust your look and your layout in a simple way. That is really nice. You've got your features, which you already looked. You can go ahead and install software. They have an online store. I'm guessing that's to purchase stuff and to donate or be a part and work with the community there. I'm going to click this install software here, and I'm guessing, oh look, Budgie Extras, Recommendations, Software Center, and Gaming. So instead of just going right into the Software Center, they give you some options here. So I'm going to go into Budgie Extras because I'm curious. Okay, so here's where our applets are. Remember, they pretty much give you what they think basically everyone wants, and if you want more functionality, they have them set as an applet. So you have an analog clock applet or a different application launcher. Clockworks, if you want to see different clocks from different places of the world. Full screen application launcher, which we saw with the Chrome layouts. A media player applet if you want that, but maybe you don't want that. Maybe you do want some preview screens here. It's already installed, but you want to add a system monitor applet, which I think is great. I want to install this. It's letting me know this is a third-party repository. And it's going to install the system monitor applet because it's always fun to check out what's happening in your system and to, monitor it. And now it's completed its install. Now, I don't know how to add it. That's what it looks like. Okay. So how do we add the applet? Budgie desktop settings. So top panel. And here are our applets. Cool. I want to add applet. Here's the system monitor applet. I'm going to add it. So they have you highlight what you want to move, and then you can move it to the center, up, over to the side there. That's pretty nice. All right, just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to leave it there. And in these desktop settings, we have some other options which we can deal with. Changing your fonts. The font looks pretty good to me. And this is if you want to dive into that theme and make some other choices. And this is saying if you want to auto start some things at the very beginning of your session, you can put it and add it right here. Only thing that is started is this plank. That's great. Love it. So that is what the Budgie Desktop Extras is when you install software. You have recommendations. Let's see what they recommend. They recommend installing ClamAV, which is an antivirus software. Firewall. I also recommend you get a firewall, but this is a GUI front end to UFW. The firmware updater, printing, Snap applications is already installed. Some of you might not care about snaps. Some of you are very passionate about snaps. And really, it's just a package way to deliver applications through a specific container package that Ubuntu, the company Canonical, maintains. There were some things when it first came out, application launching was slower, but there's also some proprietariness with it, with Canonical. And so if that bothers you, now you know. You've got the Software Center, which I just got an error. Seems the GNOME software is not installed. So we haven't installed the GNOME Software Center, and let's just see. Maybe it's here. Software. I see Software Center. I see App Center. Now this looks pretty, but I wonder if something isn't connected here. I'm wondering if this is the traditional GNOME Software Center and this is the newer App Center that Ubuntu has come out with and they just haven't updated this. I am uncertain. But then there's this last piece, gaming, and you can install Steam, Lutris, Mini Galaxy, and RetroArch, which are super cool. They're really giving you the tools that you would want to use if you're just a new person to this and just want a centralized way to find what you need to get things set. And it looks like they have some games that they have. There's a community curated list of game suggestions. But there you go. That's really cool. I like that. This little animation with the Budgie bird. He's cool, man. And we already went through that. Getting started. Here you go. Getting familiar. And it looks like you can go ahead and install some more things if you decide you need to. So it shows they've got Firefox installed, Edge, Opera, Chrome, Brave, GNOME Web, all of that kind of fun stuff you can install. Customization. Hey, we have these control center and user interface desktop settings that you can change if you want to do that. If you want to add some keyboard shortcuts or know what our shortcuts are, here they are. Update shortcut settings in the Settings app. This is a great tool for you to kind of get a sense of things. Drivers, right? Welcome was unable to automatically identify the graphics vendor on the system, and that is because I am using a virtual machine. If you were using a AMD or NVIDIA or Intel graphics card, it would pick it up here. Do not put this against Budgie or Ubuntu. This is just a simple thing because of my setup with my virtual machine. Language and input. So you can install and configure your input methods, your language support, troubleshooting. Optional tasks that you can have squared away. Install and configure Flatpak right there. Install and configure Dropbox. Configure your users. This is all happening within this welcome screen. And we haven't even got out of it yet. This is really nice. I wonder what this does. Oh, this just tells us the version. This is the Budgie welcome version 0.24.4, the desktop version 10.9.1, and Ubuntu Budgie 24.04 Noble. There you go. That is a well-designed, that might be the best welcome I have ever experienced, because now if you are a user of the Budgie desktop, you pretty much have yourself set up ready to go. No random tweaking with sliders and configuration files. You're ready to go. This is pretty. You have a lot to go through. Let's go ahead and just look at this App Center. This is definitely the Ubuntu App Center. And if you want to install something, it is quite easy. Art and design. And if we wanted to install GIMP, let's install this Snap Pack. Snap Pack. Let's install the Snap package. It's like I'm saying flat pack and snap pack, but it snaps, snappy, right? But if you are curious and wondering how to install something through their App Center, this is how it is done. It looks like there's a couple of things for me to update as well, and I will show you where you can see that in a moment. Okay, that took a little bit because as you can see here on the download size, it's 540 megabytes. When you're dealing with containered applications like Flatpak or Snap, there's way more information, but everything's contained and has everything it needs. So you can install a application like that. Then you've got your updates here. You can update the App Store, your Firefox, the welcome is needing an update, and you update it right here. You click manage and you click update and it'll update it. That's great. That is nice. Let's also check and see. So we installed GIMP. We can type GIMP. There it is. We can open it up. And there it is. It opened like it would normally do on the first time. They've pretty much addressed the snap speed issue. And if you want GIMP, there it is. If we want to add it here and keep it in dock, we just click that guy, close this out. What if we want to move him over? We can. There he is. You've got LibreOffice installed. You've got Firefox installed. We'd like to show this is the application launcher. And if you want to do it by category, here are categories, nice and simple, which is nice. This was the applet that we added. Here is just your system time and date. Scroll over panel icon to change the workspace. Well, let me put up a window for you. I'll pull back up this GIMP deal here. If you press Control Alt left or right, you can switch between your desktop spaces. So if you have that sitting there and you have your file browser here and you go back and forth. That's nice. I love using workspaces. This is the file manager here. You can change how you want to see things. There's a lot of information here. You can show a tree view. You can show this folder view. You can hide the sidebar if you want to hide it, which is really nice. I mean, essentially all the things you want to move around or adjust is right here. Icon view or list view or compact view. See, that's really great. Just making things simple and easy for you to use. This is a nice, simple file system from Budgie. So here we go. Welcome to QuickNote. Text will be saved automatically while typing. Cool. Thanks. I appreciate it. All right. That's nice. All right. Then you've got a little place on your panel to go directly to a specific place in your directory. If I want to go to the music, and it pulls up the file manager and music right there. You have your notifications. Welcome. No unread notifications. And then they have some widgets. You can sit here, play some music, and you can adjust it right here. Very cool. This is also controlled right here, which if you like that, that's great. This is your network and your network settings. You can adjust that right here, which goes right into your control center. So your Bluetooth, changing your background, look at what they have available here. I love the blue, purple, pink color scheme here. So I probably won't change, but I'm guessing it's as simple as changing it like so, and is vibrant with some colors. So there you go. That is nice. Adjusting what gives notifications, your multitasking, screen edges, and all of that jazz. It's turned off right now. Adding in your workspaces, control, privacy, sharing, sound, power, displays. You get the deal. Displays right here. This is how they've laid it out. Sound, like we mentioned. There we go. And then your power. This is a well-designed desktop. Let me press Control-Alt-T. Sudo apt install neofetch. Boop. Install it. If you've been on Ubuntu, you know exactly how to handle this stuff. That's the advantage to having this desktop environment with Ubuntu. Now we're going to clear and we're going to do neofetch. Boop. You can see what you need to see. The kernel's a pretty new kernel, 6.8. Let's see if they have top running. They do. Here you are. You can see what basic processes are running after I've been fiddling around. It's idling at 1.5 gigabytes of memory use of the 16 gigabytes that I have available, which to me shows it's in modern times a pretty lightweight system. It's not a lightweight system at all. It's definitely not, but it's lighter than GNOME, or, well, it's not lighter than KDE, but it's lighter than GNOME. So we'll say a lighter system. The Budgie desktop environment, definitely cool. Definitely cool, definitely simple, definitely for a lot of people who just want to kind of get things set up in a centralized way and then move on and probably won't adjust that setting ever again. They really tried to bring things as simply as possible to the user. And then when you have that Ubuntu tools and base, very stable environment are really, really great. I love the layout. I love the look. It is nice and clean. And coming from a Mac user, from this would definitely feel very comfortable for me as well. I would definitely appreciate that. If you don't want the snap, you would have to spend time as far as the snaps applications. You would have to remove that and then install Flatpak or just run with the Debian or Ubuntu repositories for things, which you can do. That's no problem. To me, it doesn't bother me one way or another to use a snap, but it was snappy, actually. So that was no problem for me. The install time was way quicker. It took me like 30-something minutes the other day when I installed Ubuntu 24.04 LTS with the GNOME desktop, and this took a little over 5 minutes. It did not take long at all. It was very easy. Things are working well. So if you're a new user, if you're a user that maybe you're not new, maybe you just want to sit there, install a base system that gets out of the way, it's nice and clean to use, and maybe you just install your IDE or whatever application you use, and that's all you want, I would definitely suggest this. It is a really nice system to work with. I wouldn't have any issues recommending that or potentially even using it myself. I really liked it. I hope that you enjoyed getting to get a walkthrough and kind of see the way things are with Ubuntu 24.04 LTS and with the Budgie desktop environment. Let's continue to do this Linux thing, and I'll see you next time.